Lisa, how are you?
Hi,
Good to
I'm
meet
fine,
you.
thanks.
Simon, how are you?
I'm good. Nice to meet you too. How are you?
Now, tell me about yourselves. You're on the longest journey ever on a motorbike across the country. Explain.
The longest continuous motorcycle journey by a team is the correct wording.
We're 10 years into an 18-month trip. We had regular jobs at home and all the usual pressures, etc. I owned a couple of companies. Lisa was in IT. We were passionate about motorcycling, and in one particular year, things turned sour for us. My mother was diagnosed with cancer. Lisa's father underwent radical surgery, and I had a very serious motorcycle accident which left me bedridden for 2 years, and then learned to walk again, all kinds of fun stuff. And we both said, hang on 2 seconds. We've been talking about this big trip. Either we make it happen or we stop talking about it. And so we decided we would make a break for 18 months and have an adventure. Neither of us in our wildest dreams thought that 10 years later we'd still be thrilled by motorcycling and travelling and not knowing where we're going to be each day. The world records, the other bits and pieces just came along. It was never a grandiose plan. It's not a motivating factor. What motivates us now is literally just riding towards that horizon, riding the bikes, finding out about what we're capable of.
And riding into different countries, different cultures, meeting different people.
A quick highlight and lowlight reel. Highlight for me was reaching Nordcat, the most northerly point you can ride a bike to. Second day crossing the Sahara, and suddenly realising that I had this huge BMW bike beneath me and it's swirling about, and I'm a lot more confident on that bike in that thick sand than I ever thought I was going to be. And then for a split second getting this intense blur of blue come past me like I was standing still, and I remember really clearly being impressed by this rider who was just tearing past me, and then the realisation that that's my wife. Well, the lowest point and the highest point in terms of
that was
looking,
the Amazon.
The Amazon.
The Amazon.
That went bad.
I had decided that we would do this Amazon track, and we were in the middle of the Amazon and a bridge gave way and Simon fell, and it wasn't until we reached the city of Sao Paulo that we realised that he'd broken his neck. But he was a bit poorly along the way, and I kept shouting at him saying, "Come on, man up! Go on your bike." But
that was the polite version of what you were saying.
He kept on falling off and passing out and being in a lot of pain.
Well, I was paralysed on my left-hand side and going partially blind.
He'd actually broken his neck.
Are you guys ready? Your Sander Fast 5. What was the first bike you ever owned?
BMW R1100 GS.
A Honda C90.
What is your opinion of the worst motorbike ever made?
That's a good one. The worst motorcycle ever made.
Ooh, I'd have to say, people are going to hate me for this. Royal Enfield.
Oh, really?
Really?
Bone shaker.
Ah,
I mean,
sometimes it's good to feel that.
I know, but not really. My bones feel everything anyway.
I'm going to give a naff answer. I don't think there has ever been a really bad motorcycle. As long as it has 2 wheels and you're out there, you're doing the journey.
Look at that, the little green piece. Hug everybody.
I know.
Love it. Love it. Okay.
Vote for me.
Okay. What's your opinion of the best bike ever made?
Whatever bike turns you on every single time you get on and ride it, whether it's a BMW, a Kawasaki, a Honda, a Yamaha, it doesn't make any difference.
My bike, the best bike ever. It's an F650 GS single cylinder. It's a real thumper. It's a BMW.
It's freaking loud.
And it will go anywhere and everywhere. The only place it won't go is where the rider is too scared to take it.
Ooh, that's like a dare. It's like she's looking straight at me, daring me. Now this brings me up to my last question. What is your greatest fear?
Finishing this trip.
Yeah, I think that's...
When
somebody says, "So what are you going to do when the trip finishes?" I go, "I'm sorry, I don't understand the question." And they repeat it and I go, "I don't understand the question," because that really frightens me. We're getting older. Obviously,
No, I think we are.
the aches and your bones start to wear out, and the money has disappeared totally, and suddenly that prospect of having to finish and have nothing, and we're not in our teens. It's very difficult to think of starting again, almost impossible really.
Routine, and getting back into an everyday routine.
Yeah, that
well, I think you have nothing to be fearful of, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be big in the talking circuit, okay? It's just a hunch. I think they can talk. But I'd like to thank you both for coming in the Zoom-mobile. Thank you very, very much.
So much. It's great.
Now, if anyone wants to follow your trip and continue on, where do they go?
Well, the website is www.2ridetheworld.com, and that's a numeral 2. Same on Facebook, facebook.com/2ridetheworld.
And I just want to point out that 10 years on, I know you left probably when the internet started. We don't say www anymore, but I'll explain what else has changed after I say goodbye to everybody, okay? Now, if you want to know anything more, make sure you go to zoomtv.com.au. There you can access our Zoomaholics and get access to discounts and also vouchers and hot deals from our sponsors, plus see previous videos from other weeks. Now, if you want to see what they're up to, there'll be a link there as well for that. So until next week, bye for now. I'm going to let them know what else has changed in the world, okay? I don't know if you realise, but you actually have colour TV now.
What?
Really?